Ross is building a tent. Wonder why. Ross, why are you building a tent?
No, this is not just a tent. I mean, it is a tent, but this was our home for 3 months. 3 months, 11 weeks.
That's a long time to live in a tent.
Yeah, we were travelling around Europe. It was the end of the 1990s, and so we had this that we lived in the whole time. Do you want me to show you around? It's pretty cool.
Sure, why not?
Have a look around. Okay. First thing you need to do, pull up a chair. Just pull up. No. Pull up a chair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there are no chairs. So would you like me to show you the lounge room?
Sure, why not? Cozy?
Yes, that's probably a good description. Would you like me to show you the family room though?
Sure, why not? Spacious?
No, not really. How about the room that Anita and I slept in?
Sure.
In fact, check it out. Here is the mattress, or one of the mattresses.
It does not look very comfortable.
Yeah, there's a good reason for that. It wasn't overly comfortable, but I do have, hang on, let's check this out. Sleeping bag. So when we were in France, it was November, it was really, really freezing cold, so we had to make sure we had a real thick one of these. And they go, just like it was way back in the day. Would you like me to show you the kitchen?
Sure, why not?
You're in it. This is the kitchen, check it out. One of the pots we had. So we'd have a little gas burner here and bang, off you go. Some great delicacies made in that thing.
I'm sure it was amazing.
Sausage stuff and mince.
Sure, it was great.
Whatever we could find.
Yeah.
And we're really glad we had our tent because sometimes the weather wasn't great over there. So we were in Germany at one point and it started to rain a little bit and then it got a bit heavier and then it started bucketing down and then came the lightning and then came the thunder. And I tell you what, I've never been scared in a thunderstorm before, but when you're in one of these, that lightning is bright and that thunder is loud. So yeah, it wasn't easy to sleep that night.
Doesn't sound very good, but I have a tent story too.
Okay.
So when I was a teenager, we went camping on Fraser Island and we pitched a tent and then at night it rained. And it rained, 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 and it rained. So much so that we had a river going through our tent.
Hey.
And thankfully, when we woke up in the morning, we weren't sleeping on the ground like you were. We were actually up on like camp stretchers and we put our feet on the ground and straight into...
Bit of whitewater rafting in your tent?
Yeah, that would be fun.
Okay.
But do you also know that you are not the only person that has dwelt in a tent?
Of course. I mean, you know, sometimes we pitched our tent next to some Australians and they were always really loud. Other times we would pitch
That's not what I'm talking about. God himself dwelt in a tent.
What?
It's true. It's true. It's in the Bible. So
Where?
let me read this for you. Okay. So in Exodus chapter 25, it says that the Lord said to Moses, "Have them, the Israelites, make a sacred tent for me." So they made a tent. But you see, at the beginning of time, God made the world, and he made everything good, and he dwelt with the people in the garden. But then they made a mistake, and they got it wrong, and they fell short.
See, this is last week's Kids Talk. I remember this. It's all about falling short, and no one is up to God's standard, and so all fall short. And we used that to introduce Christmas and the need for Jesus to come.
Yeah, because God hates to be separated from us. And that's why he instructed the Israelites to make a tent. And they made a tent so that they could pack it up and go wherever they went in the desert, so that he could be with them all the time, with his people.
So this is just another story that's an example of how much God wants to be with his people. So at the start he was with them in the garden, then he was with them by being in this tent, part of their camp. And the cool thing is it's not the story that kind of ends there. This is the same God who still wants to be with us now.
Yeah.
So I hate to tell you though, this sort of changes. My story changes. We eventually take down the tent,
Okay.
we put it away, and instead of just putting it in our car, we actually put it on a plane, and we come back to Australia. And this thing, we upgrade to a house, and this ends up underneath the house for 20 years.
Yep.
Yep, it smells like it.
Well, it does smell like it. But that's our Christmas link, you see. God upgraded to a better plan, not just to live in a tent. But we'll find out more about that better plan later. But this is really a reminder of how much God loved his people and wanted to be with them. And that's what Christmas is about, really. He sent Jesus to be with his people.
Well, I don't feel like there's enough Christmas in this tent.
It's green.
Hang on. Unless, of course. Hey! You got one of these instead.
Did you carry that around Europe too?
No, but our car was about this size.